Deputy President. Thank you, Mr. Deputy President. We have a housing catastrophe due to rampant immigration, excessive, reckless, record immigration. We also have a housing crisis because we don't have enough tradies to build the houses that we need. The Help to Buy Bill 2023 is a bill that won't help anyone. Right now, Queenslanders, in what should be the richest state in the world, are sleeping under bridges and on riverbanks. In one of the world's richest states, working families with children are living in cars, coming home at night to wonder if their kids are still there. Where do they toilet? Where do they shower? It's plain inhuman. Rents are skyrocketing, if a rental can be found. House prices are reaching record highs. This is a housing crisis, one of the worst we face. It's an inhuman catastrophe. Last year, the federal government under Anthony Albanese brought in 517,000 net migrants. 517,000. This year, after being promised that we would have lower immigration, we are tracking to have another new record above last year. How can you bring in more than 1 million people in 2 years? That's hundreds of thousands of houses. How can you build them? We aren't catering for the people already here, and now we're bringing in record numbers. 1 million in 2 years. 1 million. That's 400,000 houses needed. 400,000 new houses in addition to the already high demand and people living homeless at the moment. The Albanese government, though, wants to look like it's doing something, wants to look like, not just do something, but look like. Enter this Help to Buy plan. Under this plan, the government wants to own a significant part of your house. If it's an existing place, the government wants to own 30%. If it's a new place, 40%, with the government paying for part of it with low-income earners. While a 40% subsidy might sound attractive, it's fatally flawed. If the government just borrows more money for this plan, then one thing is going to happen. When you give 40% more money to people to buy a house, house prices are going to go up. House prices will go up. The bill's core concept and premise is flawed and possibly a lie. We can't subsidise our way out of a house price problem. Subsidies increase prices, always, throughout history. And looking at the bill's details, or lack of details, the problem is worse. I'll look at some of the criteria in a minute. Thirdly, let's look at the constitutional basis. This bill is completely outside the federal government's powers. It's highly complex. The government has tabled a late amendment to the bill attempting to clarify a set of constitutional issues. Too complex. I'll go back to the immigration. In addition to rampant immigrants coming in, rampant immigration of people coming into the country, prior to COVID, the number of temporary visa holders in the country was around 2.3 million people. As of the end of 24th July, that number is now 2.8 million, more than 10% of our population. More than 10% of our population, all needing a roof, all needing a bed. These are hard numbers and facts. This is what's causing the housing catastrophe. These are hard numbers and facts, as I said, yet the government has continued to lie, claiming we're just catching up with immigration. Oh, really? We haven't just caught up, we've blown the record out of the water, not only for residents here, not only for people on resident visas, but also for new immigrants coming in. We're nearly 500,000 people above the record for resident visas. Using the average household size of 2.5 people per household implies a need for more than 200,000 houses just to cater for new arrivals. It's actually 400,000. This is what we're seeing in our country. Then there are details. An Australian who enters into a Help to Buy arrangement where the government owns part of their home, what happens if they renovate their home at their own expense, spending sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars and thousands of hours swinging hammers and pulling up carpet? And as a result of their renovations, their $500,000 home increases in value to $600,000. I wonder if the minister knows how much of that Australian's renovation profit will the government take for doing nothing. Doing nothing. I wonder if the minister knows that the income thresholds are set at $90,000 for singles and $120,000 for couples. This is set nationally. despite the average house price varying from $504,000 in Darwin to $1.2 million in Sydney. Wonder why the government is not adjusting the income threshold from state to state. What are the price thresholds for houses eligible under this bill, and why haven't these been set in the legislation? Why are we bringing into the country in immigration yoga teachers and not so much tradies? We need tradies. Yoga teachers are wonderful, but we need tradies to get on with the job here. We need not the government has appointed 3 sets of bureaucrats as their part of their solution to improving housing, getting rid of the housing crisis. That's just adding to the complexity. It's adding to the inefficiency. It's adding to the catastrophe. We need tradies to come into this country. We need people to be vetted properly, to bring in their skills and to contribute. We've got so many people in this country out of work, living on welfare and not contributing to the country. Why are we bringing these people in when we've got abundance of people wanting to come into this country with good qualifications that we can put to work and fix this housing crisis quickly? These are just some of the issues that I'll be exploring more in the committee stage, but I just want to put those comments back on the record. Thank you.